I thought heartbreak would only last a few weeks. I was wrong. It moved in quietly and stayed far longer than I ever agreed to. For months, I carried my smile like a forgotten memory, something I used to own but could no longer quite place. Every place reminded me of someone who was no longer there. The city hadn't changed. I had, and it showed me everywhere I looked. Mornings were the hardest. I'd wake already tired, as if grief had worked through the night while I slept and left the bill on my pillow. I went through the motions of my days without really living them. Work, home, silence. The same 3 rooms of a life that used to feel full. Nights were worse. There was no one left to perform fine for, so the sadness finally got to be as loud as it wanted. I smiled for other people because it was easier than explaining. Nobody questions a smile. They only ever ask about the tears. The weight didn't feel temporary. It felt like something I'd simply have to carry from now on, the new shape of an ordinary life. There was a cafe where we used to laugh until closing time. I walked past it now on the opposite side of the street, unable to look directly at the door. Once, out of habit, I went in anyway. I sat at a different table. It didn't help. The whole room still remembered what I was trying to forget. There was a park where we once made promises neither of us kept. I stood at its gate for a long moment before deciding not to go in. When I finally did walk that path again, alone, every bench felt like a small monument to something that no longer existed. Even the songs I once loved became too painful to hear. I'd catch the first few notes and my thumb would move before I'd even decided to skip it. Eventually, I deleted the playlist entirely. It felt less like moving on, and more like diffusing something that kept going off without warning. I started taking the long way to avoid entire neighborhoods. My whole map of the city had quietly rearranged itself around what I could and couldn't bear to see. The city hadn't done anything wrong. It just kept being the place where all of it had happened, a museum I hadn't asked to keep visiting. One morning, I stood in front of the bathroom mirror longer than usual. Something made me actually look instead of just glancing past on my way out. And I barely recognized the person staring back. Thinner, paler, her eyes carrying a tiredness that had nothing to do with sleep. I traced the shape of my own face like it belonged to someone else. When had I stopped noticing myself this closely? When had I disappeared this much? I sat down right there on the edge of the tub and let myself cry properly, for the first time in longer than I could admit. When the crying passed, something quieter arrived behind it. Not happiness exactly, just the first flicker of a decision I hadn't let myself make yet. That was the day I made a quiet promise. I wouldn't search for happiness in someone else again. Whatever came next, I would build it myself. So I started with the smallest things, the kind too small to fail at. The first was simply watching the sunrise, all the way through without looking away. Then came long walks with nowhere particular to be. I let my feet choose the direction, and for once, didn't ask them to hurry anywhere. I started reading again in tiny cafés, one chapter at a time, in places that held no memory of anyone but the version of me sitting there now. I taught myself to bake bread, badly at first. There was something honest about a task where the only ingredients were flour, water, time, and patience. The first loaf came out dense and lopsided. I ate it anyway, slice by slice, prouder of that crooked bread than I expected to be of anything. I started writing letters I never planned to send. To him, to myself, to no one in particular. Not to mail them, just to finally say the words somewhere. The drawer filled slowly with everything I couldn't say out loud. Somehow, writing it down made the words weigh less once they left my hand. I bought a small plant I had no real reason to buy. Watering it every morning became its own tiny appointment, one I somehow never missed. None of it fixed anything on its own, but each small thing was a plank laid down, one after another, across a gap I was slowly learning to cross. A few weeks in, I looked around and realized the smallest things had quietly become a life again, one I hadn't noticed myself building. Some days I cried while watching the rain, for no reason I could name. The sadness would simply rise up out of nowhere and ask to be let out. I let it happen without fighting it anymore. Fighting it had only ever made it stay longer, like a guest who senses it isn't welcome and lingers out of spite. Other days, I laughed for no reason at all, caught off guard by my own sense of humor returning uninvited, like it had never really left. The laughter always startled me a little. It felt almost disloyal at first, as if healing were a betrayal of how much it had once hurt. Healing wasn't a straight road. Some days I'd take 3 steps forward and then, without warning, slide 2 steps back into an old, familiar ache. It was messy. Some weeks felt like real progress, and then a single song or smell would undo an afternoon in seconds. It was slow, slower than anyone impatient for me to be fine again would have liked. But it was moving, even when it didn't feel like it. And somehow, despite all of it was beautifully human. Nobody had told me grief and joy could sit in the same room together so easily. One afternoon, walking through the market, I noticed an elderly woman struggling to carry an enormous armful of flowers, her arms trembling under the weight. I offered to help before I'd even finished deciding to. She looked at me gratefully and handed over half her bouquet without a word of hesitation. We walked together toward her home, talking about nothing important. Small things. Weather, flowers, the kind of talk that asks nothing of you. At her gate, she thanked me properly, studying my face for a moment longer than the conversation seemed to require, as if she could see something I hadn't said. Then, almost gently, she said something I hadn't asked for and didn't expect. Her voice was soft, but every word landed like it had been saved for exactly this moment. Broken hearts don't stay broken forever, she said, smiling like she knew it from experience rather than theory. They simply make more room for love, kindness, and courage. She patted my hand once, then turned toward her door, as if she'd said all she needed to. I walked the rest of the way home slowly. Those words stayed with me long after her door had closed, settling somewhere I hadn't expected room to open. Weeks became months without my noticing exactly when the shift happened. I only realized it looking backward, the way you notice a season has changed. The pain slowly became something closer to gratitude, though I couldn't always tell you the exact day one turned into the other. I noticed I'd stopped asking, why did they leave? That question had run its course, worn itself smooth from being turned over so many times. In its place came a better question. What kind of life do I want to create now? It felt strange to ask, like trying on a coat that didn't quite fit yet. I started making lists, small and half-serious. Places I wanted to see, things I'd always meant to learn, a version of a future that belonged only to me. I tried things badly and didn't mind. Drawing, mostly. It turned out the point was never being good at it. The point was simply choosing something for myself. I signed up for a pottery class on a whim and made something crooked and strange. I loved it more than anything symmetrical I could have bought. The question itself turned out to be a kind of healing. Not the answer, which kept changing, but the simple fact that I was finally the one asking it. One day, I found myself laughing at something completely ordinary. A bit of flour spilled across the counter, and I laughed longer than the moment really deserved. For a moment, I forgot I had ever been broken. The thought simply wasn't there, not pushed away, just genuinely, wonderfully absent. I caught myself content more and more often, in small, unremarkable moments that would have meant nothing to anyone watching, and meant everything to me. That's when I realized my smile hadn't returned, because someone new had entered my life. There had been no one. There had only been time and effort and me. It returned because I had finally come home to myself, walked all the way back after months of standing outside my own life, unsure if I still belonged there. The apartment felt different too, though nothing in it had changed. I think I was simply the one who had finally arrived back inside it. I sat in the sun some mornings just to feel it. No phone, no distraction, nothing to prove, just warmth and breath, and the simple fact of being here. It was a quiet homecoming, the kind no one throws a party for. But it was, without question, the most important arrival of my whole life. Heartbreak didn't ruin me, though for a long time I was certain it would. It only felt that way while I was still standing in the middle of it. It introduced me to the strongest version of who I could become. A version I never would have met if everything had simply stayed easy. I found a strange gratitude for the pain, not for the hurt itself, but for everything it had quietly built in me while I wasn't looking. I discovered a strength I hadn't known I had, the kind that only reveals itself when there's genuinely no other choice but to find it. I grew kinder to myself along the way, in the small daily ways that matter more than any single grand gesture ever could. I found the courage to be alone without feeling incomplete, to fill a table for one without apologizing for the empty seat across from me. Somewhere in all of it, I fell in love with my own life. Not despite what had happened, but through everything it had asked of me. That, in the end, was the person Heartbreak had introduced me to. Not a smaller version of myself, a far sturdier one. And if you're reading this with a heavy heart of your own, I want you to know I remember exactly what that weight feels like. I remember thinking it would never lift, that the version of me before the heartbreak was simply gone for good, replaced by someone permanently smaller. I hope you remember this on the days it feels impossible. The ache you're carrying right now is not the whole story. It's only the middle of it. One day, without even noticing the exact moment it happens, the weight will simply be lighter. You won't announce it to anyone. You'll just feel it. You'll smile again at something small and ordinary, the way I did over spilled flour on a kitchen counter. It will surprise you. Let it. And this time, it will be for yourself. Not because someone else gave you a reason to, because you finally, quietly, gave it to yourself. I think often of that elderly woman and her flowers, of how right she turned out to be. Broken hearts really don't stay broken forever. They make room, exactly as she promised, for love and for kindness and for a courage you didn't know you had until you needed it. My bread doesn't come out lopsided anymore, though I sometimes miss that first crooked loaf. It taught me more than any perfect one ever could. The drawer of old letters is still there. I don't add to it anymore. I write different words now, ones I actually intend to keep. Some mornings, I still catch my reflection in the mirror where all of this began, and I smile at her, at both of us, without a single second of hesitation. Heartbreak didn't ruin me. It handed me back to myself, slowly, patiently, one small, ordinary morning at a time. And I finally, gladly, stayed.